Welcome to live stream number 149. This is a flashback to live stream number 38, live streamed on July 28th, 2020, in the year of our damn pandemic. This is Corky and Holly speaking to you on Friday, August 20th, 2021, from the Delta regions of Chicago, USA. It is our suggestion for assessing your desired level of risk for yourself and the risk you create for others that you listen to Dr. Fauci, especially when he says, however. Before we get to this live stream number 149, we'd like to make sure you have seen number 148, The Sure Sessions, featuring some of my favorite Chamber Blues videos. And especially don't miss the story about Toy Story and the digital revolution with Alvy Ray Smith. Live stream number 147, quite amazing. All of this is listed on my webpage at corkymusic.com. Just go there and you won't miss anything. And now, we take you back to July 28th, 2020, the power of puns. But for today, we depart from the quantum science of digital technology and enter into the world of puns. So we will get to puns in a while. Oh, darling, love is all there is that makes the world go round. Love and only love can stop it. Gave my world a spin when you turned me on. I almost fell off. When you stopped it. Oh, this whole existence was getting to me. Calculators, colored TV. There was nothing new here to help me survive. Under the sun, not under the stars, not under my skin. And then you arrived. Oh, I had to keep my eyes half open or be blinded by the glare. When you walked into my room in your aura flare, you took me right in and you loved me right there. Then you flipped me out, you flipped me out, you flipped me out. When you dropped me, oh, darling, love is all there is that makes the world go round. Love and only love can stop it. When you turned me on, you gave my world a spin. When you turned me on, it almost fell off, almost fell off, almost fell off. When you stopped it, oh, all that you could take away from me was you. That's all that you could take, and you took it. Gave me quite a shake when you put me down. You shook me up, you shook me up, you shook me up. I couldn't take it. Oh, darling, love is all there is to make the world go round. Love and only love can stop it. You gave my world a spin when you turned me on. Almost fell off, almost fell off, almost fell off. When you stopped it, oh, darling, love is all there is to make the world go round. Love and only love can stop yet. Gave my world a spin when you turned me on. I almost fell off, almost fell off, almost fell off. When you stopped it, when you stopped it.
That was different.
Good morning.
You know what time it is?
Is it story time? Oh my gosh. Story time.
Story time.
Okay. Oh, pirouette. I'm dizzy. Oh! So puns. We're going to talk about puns today. I have my notes. I'm always ready when I do these story times. Let's do it without notes. And then I say, but we're going to forget about this little element or this one. So I end up putting notes together at the last minute. And by the way, did you like this logo? This was the logo. Come on. That logo we put together literally 10 minutes before we went on air. And that logo is my logo for puns. Synchronicities, puns, okay? That's my logo. You can come sit here again. I like that.
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my mind is constantly hearing and visualizing double meanings to everything.
Oh, trust me on that one.
They flow through my life like a river. Automatically, I look at the alternative, and many times I find another truth. For my whole life. Oh, we left the air conditioner on, didn't we?
Yes, I can
Unbelievable.
turn that off. Don't worry.
Oh, I gotta share. Okay, I gotta. Oh, is that hysterical? We put a note on the piano that says air, so that before we start, we could remember to turn the air conditioning off. So wait, listen. So I wrote air, but then I have a backup to do, and I wanted to remind myself when we turn the air back on, when this is over, I gotta start the backup. So I took the note that said air/backup off of the piano when we were just ready to start, put it on the air conditioner, but never turned the air conditioner off.
So quirky. Is that an error?
Oh boy, she was waiting for that one. So anyway, this is the double meanings. They're constant in my life. Anyone could say anything. I could watch anything. There's always a double meaning going at the same time. As I gaze at the face of the moon, I always pondered, what are the possibilities on the other side? So anyway, I'm not a genius with puns, but I love them dearly. Randy Sabine, he will top me every time. Completely. Louise Frank from WFMT takes my breath away. Okay, so I'm not the one. When I verbalize a double meaning or a pun, it's never intended to be witty, clever, or funny. It can seem witty or funny, but to me, that's not the intention nor the purpose. I don't think that's why puns exist, to be witty and funny. The way I see it, puns can point out little micro-synchronicities that generate little explosions of joy. I call them synchronicities. And they connect us to our world through words and images in a very beautiful and unique way. They give me goosebumps. It's poetry. Little micro-synchronicities, little explosions of joy. So let's not take puns for granted. They are pervasive and helpful in communicating ideas and turning words into visions, especially in titles, headlines, names. And the best puns are the ones that just present themselves in front of you. And you just have to say them to get that extra little explosion of joy. Holly has a name for a vegetarian restaurant. The Lucky Cow. I named a children's sporting shop at a ski resort at the Snowmass Village Mall. The Short Sport.
And they actually used it.
And they used it. And then in the same mall, I was asked to name the newspaper. They were just putting out a new newspaper. That's office was right next to the sporting place. And I said, well, that's an easy one, the Mall Street Journal. And they didn't use that one. A friend of mine named an Italian woman's clothing store. Italian woman's clothing store. Ready? Maiden in Distress. Maiden in Distress. Maiden in Distress.
Very Chicago.
Very Chicago. Holly calls Jackson Pollock, the guy who splatters paint on a canvas, she calls him Jack the Dripper. And she also calls Surratt, the pointillism expert, master, Sir Dot. So, as often happens, someone said to me, you have to meet my brother. His puns are worse than yours. That happens a lot. His brother, in this case, was Bob Edgar. Bob was the very loved head of the National Council of Churches for 7 years before he became the CEO of Common Cause. Holly and I did meet Bob, and we all just became really, really close friends. About 10 years ago, I had just phased out of my part in a project called Time Out for Unity, or TOFU. We created a beautiful website designed by my immediate cousins, Jeff and Blythe Veltman, with the help of another friend, Sebastian. A very close friend of mine since high school was the political genius behind it all, and was able to come up with amazing ideas that would unify people on opposing sides of the political spectrum. But my friend was also a genius in procrastination. He was writing a book, was very excited to meet my dear cousin Lionel Siegel, who he loved so much. He was a famous screenwriter. He wrote Peyton Place and Gunsmoke and The Virginian. And,
Rawhide.
yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, my friend asked my cousin, the screenwriter, to advise him on what to do with the book. And he was very excited to get Lionel's wisdom. Lionel asked him, "Have you finished the book?" And my friend said no. And then Lionel asked him, "How long have you been working on this book?" And my friend answered, 40 years. Lionel thought about it and said, "Yes, I have some really good advice for you. Finish the effing book."
We miss Lionel.
We miss Lionel.
Did you say before?
Sounds good.
Help yourself with some in there. What did I say? I said, for some reason, I'm feeling inadequate because I don't have things to hold in front of my face when I'm looking and talking to people. I'm just sort of naked without anything to hold on to.
Show me.
Okay.
Corky's a rascal.
So eventually we had to phase out TOFU, Time Out for Unity. But Bob Edgar asked me and Holly to come to Washington, D.C. for the 40th anniversary of Common Cause. I went there and performed, but also Holly and I went through many of their seminars. We found out that the organization was started by Republicans to fight corruption and stop money from drowning out the voice of the people. They were into fair elections, voter rights, truth to power. That was their agenda, and it remains a purely and aggressively nonpartisan organization with the same agenda as the Republicans laid out 50 years ago. This inspired Holly and I to reboot Common Cause Illinois because there was no existing chapter at the time in Illinois. A friend who I wanted to get on board said, "You're wasting your time. There's more corruption in Illinois than anywhere else in the world." And I told him, yes, that's true. But consider, we have a lot of beautiful, low-hanging fruit. And for that reason, we will accomplish a lot. We had a few meetings in our home, and it exploded into a major game changer in Illinois in a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. So understand that one person's actions can indeed plant a seed that can change the world. And all of this came about because of puns. And yes, Bob Edgar's puns were much worse than mine. So let's end, if we may, with this bilingual pun.
Before you do, I just want to interject a couple of things.
Okay, go ahead, my sweetness.
A couple of things that Common Cause Illinois accomplished was online voter registration, voting rights,
Same-day voter registration.
same-day voter registration. They're working.
Automatic voter registration.
They're working
response.
on the census. So it's all policy focused, and 80% of the things they're fighting for.
People want.
Exactly.
I took the words right out of your mouth. So if it's time to work on a project or sit down at a table in a restaurant,
First of all, I should say, may we show you the pun? This we got to end with this pun. This is my favorite pun, and I want to tell you this amazing synchronicity.
this logo literally came exactly out of the pun. The logo for puns, for
So-
the connection, the synchronicity.
Visual pun.
Yeah. So here comes the pun. You ask somebody, is it okay if we sit down? And you say, may we? May we sit down? And the answer is, may we? May we? May we? In other words, is it okay if we do it? And the answer is, but of course. And it's the same thing. May we? May we? I'm sorry. May we sit down? That just tickles me.
So while you're talking, about a zillion puns have zipped by from all of our viewers.
I'm
so,
sure there are bad ones too. There's no such thing as a bad pun.
which makes it even better.
Well, while I was telling the story, even the serious parts, Holly is laughing through the whole thing. All of our streams we put on YouTube, and you could go to them at quirkymusic.com. I haven't put the Zoom up. We're all going to do a Zoom right after this is over, right around noon. I don't know what time it is now. Everyone is welcome to join us for a Zoom, and I'll put it up on my page.
And more puns.
And more puns at quirkymusic.com, and that'll give you the links and everything so you could join us for the Zoom.
And more puns.
And more puns. So is that all the business at hand?
But not all the puns.
In case you didn't get the relationship between the logo and the pun, here it is.
See you Zoom. See you very Zoom.